What do the numbers say?
54.5, I think.
Is that Vegas?
Yeah.
Give me over the under.
Vegas is pretty smart, so we'll do exactly that, 54.5.
I think Nate Silver has 56.
56. Nate's smart, too.
You got
What's that?
What do you got against DeLon?
Oh, we got nothing against DeLon. We love DeLon.
Was it a tough decision not to extend it?
No, I think it was mutual. I think I don't want to get too much. It's obviously private and personal, but I think this is a great chance for DeLon to make another jump this year. I think we all saw it last year. He had a little bit of unfortunate luck his second year with his shoulder, and so I think it's a great chance for him to make another jump and for us to see it. So.
Would the next cap implications and tax implications have factored into this as well?
I think they always do, but I think more it's first and foremost we evaluate him as a person and a player and see if we can come to agreement there.
Is it tricky when you've got so many guys who have shown real ability, but they don't have the minutes resume, they don't have like the big playing time resume, so how they value themselves may not be how the stats necessarily value them?
A little bit, I guess. I think it's always, we're in a game of projecting, and it's hard. To your point, if you don't have a huge body of work, but I think, that's the reason for these rules. We have this great little window right before the last year, but he still gets to play out that last year. So.
The beginning of every new season seems fresh and exciting to people in your position. Does this year feel different because of the roster you have and LeBron gone and the possibilities therein?
Yeah, I think inherently there's a newness with Nick and obviously Kawhi, and I think over the past few years, we had the same core and we had a lot of the same pieces coming back every year. So for that sense, there's always a newness as far as what to expect, what are we looking for. The most basic level, we have different players out there that we're watching.
Bobby, how do you manage the expectations and the inevitable comparisons that will come to last year or to the year before, to other teams as you move through the season?
I think the good thing about this year is that, what we were just talking about is it's a newness, and so expectations are usually against, maybe what you did the prior year or what the same guys did before. And so this year, there's expectations, but no one really knows what's going to happen.
So when did you know that Nick was the right guy from a defensive point of view, or how did you know that? I mean, it wasn't part of his portfolio as an assistant. So what convinced you? I mean, that was a part of your team.
Yeah, no, I'll always think back to just, our first interview with him. It was just so happened that he was the first of the, candidates that we looked at. And I remember walking away from that interview saying, man, this guy, he gets it. And, you don't have a ton of those conversations, over the years in his prior role. But that was like his first, you only get, one chance to make your first impression, and it was good.
But specifically regarding his defensive acumen and ability to coach up the team defensively.
I think that's, he has such a high basketball IQ that, that was just because he didn't show it, it didn't mean that he didn't have it. So.
What don't you know about how Nick is going to perform as a head coach?
The brights are always lighter. I mean, the brights are always, lights are always brighter. There you go. And so I think that's it. I mean, the greatest thing is, first day of practice, I remember walking in, and he's just a natural. He's done it. How many games has he coached as a head coach? So I think that gave us some comfort that, there wasn't going to be, some moment where he wasn't going to be able to handle. But, I think everyone knows it's 20,000 people and the lights are on, but, there's really no issues.
With Dwayne, Kyle, and DeMar at the sort of helm of this thing for so long, there was this sort of mutual sweat equity, this commonality of purpose. I mean, you guys think you've upgraded the roster, but if there's anything lacking, it's that chemistry and cohesion. Is that a worry, or is that something you just feel develops?
I think we valued continuity for a lot of years, and I think that was a huge part of our success. And I think that's a little bit of the risk we took in changing some pieces around. But ultimately, you want to put, the best guys on the floor, and so that's where, we feel confident.
Is it just as simple as you think, well, everybody will want to win at some point, and that will kick in?
No, chemistry, like I said, we value continuity, and chemistry mattered, and so there's maybe from our point of view, just a heightened sense of, hey, how are things fitting in, and, maybe we have more of an eye this year towards how is chemistry, how are things fitting in, as opposed to prior years where, as I said, most of the same guys are coming back.
What do you know about Kawhi now
Um, he's healthy. I think there was always that little piece going into the deal. And then now once you live with him and you see him, no setbacks. He's been great.
Were you at all anxious about his health, like in terms of being able to go 6 practices in 4 days in training camp and the rest of it?
I don't think it was necessarily that. I think there was so much of a narrative out there that, to a degree, you're a little bit in the dark, and so you're investigating, you're talking to people on your own, but there's no substitute for just having the guy there and being able to see him every day.
Did you have enough confidence that he would be a guy who could play, back-to-back games, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, there was nothing to suggest that he wouldn't.
Have you noticed an impact that he's made since he's come to the team?
Oh, huge. I mean, obvious is the on-the-court stuff, but I think his personality, he's shown a lot more, I think, than maybe, maybe what the reputation was. And so he loves basketball. He's incredible at it, but he's also a great guy. So.
Do you think that's something we'll see in time? Like, we keep hearing that, oh, no, he's really, nice guy. He talks a lot. Do you think he'll show that eventually?
That's his prerogative. I think that's, we all show what we want to the media and to the public. But I think you guys saw a little bit even in that opening press conference. So.
How much does LeBron leaving change what you guys do, your outlook in terms of competing now and in the future in this conference?
I don't think it changes a ton. There's really good teams in the conference, and you still have to beat the Western Conference to win a title, so not a ton.
Does it change anything like stylistically in terms of how you're trying to build?
No.
Having a lot of good players is a good problem to have. Some of them won't play when I'm sure they're expecting to play. How much of that was on you guys to sort of manage expectations during the summer? How much of that is on Nick now to manage expectations during the season?
I think it's a good problem to have, and I don't think there's any managing because you want to come into camp and preseason and the regular season with a completely open slate. And so that's probably something that we'll see more play out over the course of the year.